All right, well, final step to this long lesson on completing the square. We just talked about how the importance of vertex form. How is it useful? So how can we take something that's in standard form and then push it into vertex form? So here's an example of that type of a problem. So if I have this function, y equals negative 2x squared plus 20x minus 42. The question is, how can I put it into this format, into vertex form? One of the things I'm hoping that you're recognizing is, oh my goodness, we have the square of a binomial embedded into vertex form. We certainly do. So when you think of square of binomial, I'm hoping that you're starting to make the connection with completing the square. Completing the square can help us convert something that's in standard form into vertex form. So let's come back over here to this example. If I look at this example, I can already tell that this C is not going to allow me to start manipulating my trinomial through the use of completing the square. I don't have a perfect square trinomial here. So if I add 42 to both sides, I can start to move some things around and we can take a different look at this. So I've moved my 42 over there, and now I have negative 2x squared plus 20x. Well, remember, with completing the square, we need to have a that's equal to 1. So, okay, I'm just going to leave things on the left side as they are. I'm just going to factor out the negative 2 so that I can look inside my parentheses right here, and I can start to create a perfect square trinomial. Just focusing on, let me highlight what we're going to focus on, just focusing on this right here, I'm going to get that perfect square trinomial in there. So, okay, what would be C to make this become a perfect square trinomial? Well, I need half of negative 10, which is negative 5, and negative 5 squared equals 25. So if I put a 25 right in here, then I've got a perfect square trinomial that we can factor into the square of binomial, and that looks fantastic. But think carefully for just a second. When I put that 25 right in here, I'm not really putting the equivalent to 25 on the right side of my equation. I'm really putting negative 2 times 25, right? Because I have a hanging out over here, which is really negative 50. So here we go. So when I have negative 2x squared minus 10x plus 25, that's fantastic. What I have to do over here, I have y plus 42. I have to actually add that negative 50, which is the equivalent over here on the left-hand side. Now that's a legal move. So if I clean this up, I have y minus 8 over here on the left side equals negative 2, and now I have that beautiful perfect square trinomial that I can factor into the square of a binomial just like this. We're getting so close to finishing this thing up. We're converting our quadratic that was in standard form into vertex form. All we have to do now is add that 8 over, and our final answer is y equals negative 2, so negative 2 is a, x minus 5 squared plus 8.